Christina Calph here with IdeateTV. I am here with the founder of Hawaii Volcanic Beverages, Jason Donovan.
Yes.
I came by your booth and I just immediately was attracted to the packaging and to your product. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing here?
Sure, that's great news. We have volcanic water from the Big Island of Hawaii, and it comes from, here's a little diagram. This is the Mauna Loa volcano, and our bottling plant is at the base of the volcano. So we are pulling up the water from 500 feet, and it comes up with all the minerals naturally that are listed in here: silica, magnesium, potassium, calcium, and it's naturally alkaline by nature. So we really don't have to do anything to the water. It's already perfect when it comes out of the ground.
That is insane. So wait, okay, let me wrap my brain around this. There's a volcano,
Yeah.
and there's water
It was
under.
just erupting a few months ago.
How did you know there was water by there? Or how did?
The Hawaiian Islands are one gigantic aquifer. They're one gigantic aquifer. So every single island, it rains every day for millions of years, and all that water collects in the artesian aquifer below. So as the water percolates through the volcanic rock, it picks up all these minerals and alkalinity naturally. So each island is literally like a giant rock sponge.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
How did you get into this, and how did you discover this?
Been lucky enough to live in Hawaii for 20 years from South Florida, and I'm active in the ocean. I'm a surfer, and I do hiking and biking. So I was in a waterfall with my wife and had a realization that, wow, we have a lot of amazing water here in Hawaii, and why would we buy water from a foreign country, from a foreign island, like Fiji? Even though Fiji's a great water, made no sense that we were buying it and importing it in from around the world. Evian from France. It made no sense. So the business idea was, well, we need to have our own brand of water from Hawaii. And then it became what are we going to package it in? And for 3 years, we only packaged in glass exclusively because we've been waiting for an algae plastic to be perfected. And it hasn't happened yet, but it will happen soon. And when it does, we'll be using algae plastics.
How do you get into water? A lot of people have. My dad called me the other day, and he was like, "Oh, I have this idea of mixing, water with like Gatorade type thing." And he's like, and I'm like, "That's great, Dad, but how do you pursue that? Like, you think of the water. How do you even take part in doing something like that?"
The first thing we did in Hawaii, because water is sacred everywhere, and the word Hawaii actually in the middle is W-A-I, and that means water, fresh water. It also means wealth in Hawaiian, so it's very spiritual. So the first step was to get the blessing of the Hawaiian people. That was the very, very first step, and that took 5 years, just to prove that they want to make sure you're not, you're a good person. And since we are utilizing a natural resource, it's important for us to give back to the community. So we clean beaches, we build playgrounds, we do what we call Pono programs, and we have hundreds of them. We even sponsor, we just bought sea bins from Australia, which are these giant buckets that pull in marine debris, plastic, netting, bottles, oil out of the ocean, and then we utilize that trash, which is really a resource, and we turn it into products like a playground for the kids. So the first step was to get the approval of the Hawaiian people, which we did by proving that we are Pono ourselves, meaning we are good. And then it became finding a source, doing the hydrology studies, making sure it's a sustainable resource. Ours is. It rains billions of gallons a day for over 1 million years. So there's so much water on the Big Island of Hawaii. It's not doing any environmental damage whatsoever, because all that water flows out into the ocean. Goes into the aquifer, and it flows out into the sea. So by bottling some of it, it doesn't have any environmental negative impact at all.
That's incredible. And now I know this is a newer product and you're just kind of launching it out, but where could people kind of get it now?
It's actually not new. We're the number one water in Hawaii. We've been out for 4 years in Hawaii. So we're the number one premium water. In Hawaii, we're at every major retailer: Safeway, Whole Foods, Starbucks, Walmart in Hawaii. This show is our introduction to the rest of the United States and the world. So we're signing up buyers here, mostly natural food channels. We just picked up the, oh my goodness, not Starbucks, the other What's the
Coffee
company?
Bean?
Yes, we just picked up Coffee Bean. Seems like it's going to happen. So in the next 6 months, we should be in most of the major natural retailers here.
What advice, what can you leave our viewers with that like could inspire them to maybe they have an idea that they want to execute?
Yeah, well, this took 10 years from idea to being here today, launching nationally. And really, what I advise people all the time is they have to be doing what they love and what excites them, because you want to wake up every morning and be really pumped about whatever you're doing so that you enjoy your job. And in our case, we're bringing healthy, natural Hawaiian water into people's bodies, which then makes them feel healthier and is very rewarding to hear all these stories from folks that how it changed their life and their ulcer went away, and story after story after story. And then on top of that, our mission is to, be a part of the solution to, you're not really going to get rid of plastic, but we have to utilize plastic and reuse it over and over and over again. So we focus on how do we make better packaging. We call it HV Labs. So we're figuring out what can we do with this plastic to get it out of the oceans, to reuse it, to put it in the roads, to put it in clothing, to put it in new bottles. And I have a very serious passion for that. And for anybody that's an entrepreneur, if they're not passionate about what they're doing, then they shouldn't be doing it.
That's great advice. Thank you, Jason. I really
Thank you so
appreciate it.
much.
Thank you for talking with us.
Aloha.
Aloha! Christina with IdeateTV.